Hey guys, it's Annie, your psychic limitless mindset manifestation coach. So guys, one of the questions I was asked was, Annie, how do I know when my relationship is over? Now, this is a bit of a tricky one, guys, because even though three-dimensionally, it may present to us that it's officially over, no contact, but five-dimensionally, it is not. It's not over. So I'll go into more detail about that. But before I do, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on anything. And don't forget to check me out on my website here below. So let's get one thing straight, guys. If both sides have that burning desire to be with one another, then it is not over. Energetically, it is not over. What we found, even as psychics, is this is going to be very shocking to hear, guys, but 87% of us are in what's called karmic energies. Now, don't get me wrong, karmic energies can work out if both sides are manifesting, both sides have the desire to be with one another. If you don't, then it's not really a form of a relationship. It's one that doesn't really sustain. Now, one of you guys could have the burning desire to be with the other. You can, in fact, you can. But when you connect with that person equally has to be having the burning desire to be with you too, because energetically, vibrationally, you have to align. So it does happen. I'm not saying karmic energies do not work out. They do work out, but it's how you manage the energy and really getting behind understanding, okay, what's going on here? So sometimes, a lot of the times actually, in the karmic energy, you'll find people who have hot and cold relationship. So no matter what it is, they keep going back to that person. So it's like hot and cold, keep going back. And you're like, is this over? Is this officially over? Or why do I keep going back to this person? Well, there's a number of reasons for that. And usually it's down to your conditioning. It's down to the attachment that you formed. And you don't know any better. So you're going back to your old thought processes. You're not really upgrading yourself. So when people turn and say to me, okay, Annie, is this relationship officially over? Well, each of us are very different. Each of us are on a very different journey. But majority of the time, when I'm looking at it five-dimensionally, I'm like, no, it's not officially over. Because perhaps there's some energy that you both need to settle. You both need to end what's called a karmic cycle. So I'm going to give an example. So there was a guy from Africa that came to me and he said, well, Annie, I want you to look in love and relationships. I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden I was drawn to an energy in California. And I said, well, who is this lady with a California connection? And, kind of described her the way I was seeing her through my mind's eye. And he's like, oh, I don't feel that's going to work. We did connect, we did go out. But because of the distance, I feel that the relationship is over. And I'm like, oh my God, Cupid, what is going on here? Because I could see the burning desire on both sides and I can feel that energy, the tension between the two. So then I worked with Cupid, or my guides. Well, I think my guides find it funny if I call them Cupid, but working with Cupid, I was like, right, how do I navigate this man through fast, efficiently, where he's connecting with this lady? How do we go about it? So over a series of sessions, what we did was we worked on his inner state, we worked on the story he had behind himself, and we started working towards building up the energy behind the desire of actually wanting to be with this woman. So sparking it back up. So as he did that energetically and over time, well, long story short, they met, they dated, they got married. And that's one of the best stories. That's going to be actually one of my testimonials that I will be posting on my social media platforms. So don't forget to check it out, guys, on my platforms. So that is an example of someone who thought that their relationship was over completely because of the 3D circumstances, the physical distance, geographically, the lack of communication, and, going into that mode of, well, you know what, it's not going to work because the 3D circumstances don't allow it. But how is that a form of you manifesting? That's why I say to people, when you want to manifest, step into the five-dimensional. Because in the five-dimensional, physical, geographical distance, lack of communication, sometimes doesn't really mean anything. Because if the connection, if the spark, if the energy and the desire to be with one another is still there, the energy is still going to be there. So the moment you start dipping into what I call the three-dimensional world, what you're doing is you're potentially creating stories about the situation yourself. You're basing it off other people's opinions. You're not really mastering your own manifesting state, and you haven't really put enough energy behind that desired outcome, just how this gentleman did. So I had this client and she had a burning desire to be with this gentleman, and this gentleman had a desire to be with her, but it wasn't burning enough, and I'll tell you why. He was in what was called a karmic energy that was practically not going anywhere. He was in an energy where it was hot and cold with his current relationship, always going back with her, always breaking up, and it was due to his old thought processes and the attachment that he formed. So he was in that kind of dilemma. So what I said to my client was, I want you to open yourself up abundantly to the universe. I want you to put enough energy behind this burning desire, and we will work through it, where you're opening yourself up to, okay, I have a burning desire to be in a long-term committed relationship, but I'll open it up to the universe to decide who it's going to be, who's going to present themselves as the best option. Now, training her through that, going through that with her, giving her some validations, enabled her to step back from this person. Yeah, so he's not the prime focus of the manifestation. The prime focus was herself. She opened herself up and she put that blind faith, trust, belief to the universe, and she ultimately did achieve her outcome. But what was the outcome? What was the reason for her to do that? The moment she opened herself up energetically to the universe, what happened is it caused a shift in him, a burning desire of the person that she wanted to be with. How? Well, it caused that person to self-reflect, what the heck am I doing in this relationship? What the heck am I currently doing with my partner? What am I doing? So the universe responded to that by shifting the energy of the person that she actually initially had the burning desire for. But because she put herself into a state where she opened herself up to the universe, guess what? She had another option, another opportunity, another connection that came through. So now she's in the great position of being where, let the best man win, basically. That's what I said to her, let the best man win. So it's amazing what you can do and how you can learn to navigate your energy, particularly when you're utilizing someone like myself. Because through doing that, not only did she open herself up abundantly, but it also caused a shift in him to break out from his karmic energy. So his desire then became a burning desire to be with her. I hope that makes sense, guys. So going back to the question, is my relationship over, Annie? Well, everyone's different. Everyone's on a different journey, but there are certain outcomes that you can create just by you learning how to manifest the right way, the 5-dimensional way, and working with a very good top psychic, by the way. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and drop your comments below on anything you want me to cover. And don't forget to check out my other YouTube videos that I've just launched on this channel. Again, guys, anything you want me to cover, drop it below, send it over, because this channel is as much yours as it is mine. Until then, ciao.